welcome everybody to Dottendo Commentaries' second premiere playthrough, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. Chaz here with you.
And Miles.
And we're going to be taking you through one of my favorite classic Sonic games in the entire series. What do you think of this one?
It is pretty awesome.
As you can see, we have save files now. This is the first main Sonic game to have save files. Now, we're picking up at the end of Sonic 2 where they destroyed Eggman's Death Egg, and it actually didn't get destroyed. It crashed on this island, which is home to one of the strongest characters in history, Knuckles the Echidna. The first character we've ever seen able to harm a super form.
Probably the only one.
Yes. I mean, it's already been established the supersonic form is basically invincible. He can be crushed, he can fall in a pit, stuff like that, but no one's actually been able to hit him and make him lose his emeralds before, so good on you, Knuckles. That's some power you got there.
Yeah, even some enemies like, even some bosses in much future Sonic games just make him lose rings.
Exactly. Speaking of emeralds and rings, what's this giant ring? This will be the first of our special bonus stages. Now, for whatever reason, when Knuckles collected the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic, instead of keeping them for himself, he decided to put them in these secret bonus worlds, which is alright with me, because I can collect them again. The point of these bonus stages here is there's a lot of blue spheres, as you can see the counter up in the top left corner. You have to collect all the blue spheres, and when you do that, the emerald will reveal itself. Now, as you go through, every blue sphere that you collect becomes a red sphere. Touching a red sphere will actually make you lose the bonus stage. You'll have to come back again and try later. Also, there are those white spheres with the red stars which act as bumpers, and they will send you walking backwards for a short distance.
Yeah, and these special stages, they can be kind of difficult at the start, but once you know where everything is, they aren't that bad.
Exactly. It's like they're not randomized. They all have a set pattern every time you go to them. So once you've gone through it once, if you make a mistake, you can come back again later and try and correct yourself. But as you see, I got the first of the 7 Chaos Emeralds, the Green Emerald.
And there's much more to come.
Meanwhile, back to Angel Island Zone 1. And as you can see, Eggman's been busy already planting robots everywhere. We've got the classic coconuts. He looks a little bit different, but it's the same type of coconut throwing monkey robot, so let's not get into specifics. And as we go through, we'll see that there's a lot of mini-bosses that Eggman has got ready, too. It makes you wonder, where did he keep all these robots, and why didn't he use them sooner?
I don't know.
Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm invincible. Nothing can stop me now. Not even waiting for Tails.
Whee! And I died.
Yeah. Tails dies a lot as you're going through this. But here's one of the mini-bosses I was talking about. This isn't so much a battle right here, it's just kind of an interactive cutscene in which they torch the entire friggin' island. Yeah,
as you've seen, the entire screen was just covered in flames.
Somehow, Sonic and Tails survived. Well, no, Sonic survived because he was invincible. Tails, I don't know. Anyway, here's a nice little bonus stage. If you get one of the continue points, the signposts, with 50 rings or more, you get to enter this little gumball machine thing. As you bounce off the springs on the side and hit the crank in the middle, it'll drop a gumball. Now, you can get various things like rings, 1-ups, shields, all sorts of stuff out of this machine. And I'm going to go with one of my particular favorite shields right here, as you can see, the Lightning Shield. Now, in this game, this was the first time the characters had the ability to do certain actions in midair. Tails can fly and swim, and we'll discuss more of that later. But Sonic, if he doesn't have a shield, hitting the jump button in midair gives him a sudden shockwave around his body, which is like a momentary invincibility. But with the Lightning Shield, Sonic gains the double jump, as you saw there. Plus, he can also draw rings in towards himself, like it magnetizes the rings in towards him. But that mini-boss has come back.
This time we're gonna get rid of him.
Well, I just lost my shield, but no problem, he's already dead. Now, interesting thing about the mini-boss, the music reminds me of something, and there's some, like, I guess, I don't know if they're official facts or just unsubstantiated rumors, but apparently Michael Jackson had been brought in at one point to do some musical compositions for this game, and you can really hear that in the mini-boss tune, because there's a part where it starts off by saying, "Come on!" and there's a lot of parts where it just goes, "Woo!" It sounds so much like a Michael Jackson song. Yeah. Meanwhile, back to the bonus stage. As you saw, I got another giant ring. We're off to get Chaos Emerald number 2.
And during when that signpost fell, if you just let it fall where it was, then you would have gotten a bubble shield.
Yeah, the signpost, you can actually hit it for extra points to keep it juggling in the air. But if it lands on certain parts of the ground, there are hidden boxes, like you can bring up a ring box, shields, all sorts of stuff like that. With the bonus stages here, as I say, you gotta get all the blue spheres. If you find a collection of blue spheres in like a boxy shape, like a rectangle or a square, if you get just the outside of them, you'll see right here they all turn into rings. So that's a quick way to collect a whole lot of spheres in like a short amount of time. Another thing too is if you collect 50 rings in the bonus stage, you get a continue. If you collect every possible ring in the bonus stage, you get like a perfect clear bonus of, I think it's 50,000 points or something like that, which can go towards getting you some more free lives and continues. But I'm kind of not interested in that. I want the emeralds, dang it.
Yeah, and continues, they aren't really that useful because since this game has a save feature, you can just, once you get a game over, you can just select your save file and then go back to that stage.
Exactly. Like, with the save feature, you get to go back to whatever zone you were in when you died, which is kind of the same as the continue. The continue might actually get you to go from whatever act you were in, but where there's only 2 acts for each zone, it kind of really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, and if you already did Act 1, then you already know where everything is.
Pretty much. Because you can see the island is still ablaze in the background.
Yeah, does this fire ever stop?
No, not till the next level, which is fitting because it's a water level. But we'll get into that when we get to that.
And here I am stuck in the back.
That's the fun thing with Tails, and when I say fun, I mean annoying, because as the second player, you can never really keep track of where you are on the screen. Like, right now, I could be playing single player. I could be Sonic, and the computer could be controlling Tails, but a second player can pick up controller number 2 and control Tails themselves. But the only annoying part is you can never really keep track of yourself because the camera always stays focused on Sonic himself.
This is why a lot of people like just to be Sonic by himself.
Yeah, there are 2 other ways you can play. You can play as just Sonic or just Tails. But I prefer the Sonic and Tails team up because it's more fun that way. Plus, it's a neat, sort of an innovative way to have a 2-player game. In Sonic the Hedgehog 2, they had like a competition mode where you had a split screen, and Sonic was on top, Tails was on the bottom screen. But they could have done that with this game, but I think it's a little bit more creative to have, make it so that Tails has to stay with Sonic, because that's kind of what Tails does anyway.
And in Sonic Adventure, I mean in Sonic 2, Tails is just Sonic, only he looks different.
Yeah, Tails had no special abilities beyond what Sonic himself could do. Although you could still play through that game as just Tails, which is pretty interesting. Here we have the bubble shield, and as you can see, you can do a bounce attack in midair, which is the special feature of that. And if you actually bounce attack, you'll bounce higher than a regular jump. But if you bounce off an enemy, you'll jump really high. And Tails is dead again. Alright, moving on.
And I'm back.
Before continuing, I want to grab the final shield, the fire shield. As you can see, this thing gives me a nice little mid-air dash attack, like a homing attack type of thing. And it also protects me from any fire attacks that might come my way. So now that we're all equipped, let's go, Tails. And Tails is stuck at the back of the screen.
Yeah, that's like a little glitch thing that happens where if you get at the back of the screen, it's kind of impossible for you to go ahead.
Yeah, Sonic would be alright if he got to the back. Like, the game allows him to move forward, but the moment Tails hits that left edge of the screen, he has to stay there until this whole little airship cutscene thing is over.
Good thing he doesn't have his own reins or anything.
That's true. That's the good thing about Tails, is he's basically immortal. He can die a lot, but he keeps coming back no matter what.
And there's Dr. Robotnik.
Yes, there's a mysterious creature in the background, and here he is, everybody.
I'll get him.
Get him, Tails. Oh well. Sonic can take it. Oh, Tails is back.
Come on, I'll get him.
Now, as you'll see here, there we go. Fire is completely useless against Sonic.
Ooh.
And Tails is dead again. It's funny how the moment Tails dies through the bottom of the screen, he comes back the top. Kind of makes you wonder, is it the same Tails, or is it maybe another two-tailed fox?
He has tons of twin brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Sonic goes through sidekicks worse than Batman does, I tell ya. But by destroying the roboticizer that came hovering in, we've saved the animals and completed the stage. And our buddy Knuckles shows up to cause trouble, but psych! Nice try, Knucklehead. But we can't even really get up to do anything about that, so moving on. See you in part 2.